Well, good morning. This is Jim Ferguson reporting from the Netherlands the day after the historic court case took place in Leeuwarden, up in the far north of the Netherlands. This was no ordinary court case, and this is now gaining international attention, largely uncovered in the mainstream media. No surprises there when you think of how much money is given to the old legacy media not to cover these types of stories. But when I heard about what was going on, I gave it extensive coverage over the last couple of days. Much of it has gone viral. Many of the articles I've written have gone in excess of 1 million views already. So I'm here, and I attended the court yesterday. I was given special access inside the courthouse itself to listen in and to find out exactly what's going on. And it's really quite remarkable. People like Bill Gates, people like Ursula von der Leyen, people like Mark Rutte, the former Prime Minister here of the Netherlands, as well as many others, Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer. They've all been accused of conspiracy. And these accusations carry criminal penalties if they're found guilty. So it's incredibly important that people understand that what's happening here in the Netherlands, in this little courthouse, is potentially so fiery, so important, that this could ignite a firestorm globally around the world. It's incredible. And I listened to many of the solicitors, or the lawyers as they call them, here in the Netherlands that were giving their take. One of them in particular was still pursuing that mainstream narrative that the vaccines are safe and effective. And they said, we have the expert witnesses. But what was counterclaimed was that there are many witnesses and many experts that have a different viewpoint. Why would it just be the globalist institutions that should be believed and trusted? Especially when we see the rising numbers of excess deaths, the harms, the devastation that's been caused in so many other ways, not just with the injuries of the vaccines, but the lockdowns, the lost businesses, the fear, the manipulation, the coercion, the managed perceptions. It was a whole psychological operation that took place. The red flags were there. When we see people coming out, national leaders, prime ministers, presidents, members of royal families, all coming out at the same time, pursuing the same narrative, build back better, safe and effective. That is all the hallmarks of a psychological operation. And that's now been challenged in the court in Leeuwarden, here in the Netherlands. It's no longer being swept under the rug. And the judgment from the judge was that they would make a decision within 6 weeks. There's a high likelihood I'll be coming back here to hear what that judgment is. But in the meantime, we're going to be giving a much more detailed presentation of what actually was said. My colleague, Scarlett Keralova, who is a journalist from the Netherlands, was with me. Of course, she speaks fluent Dutch. She is Dutch. And she was able to take copious notes. So she and I are going to be breaking it all down and giving you a piece-by-piece, blow-by-blow account of exactly what was said by whom and when, and what the ramifications might then come and follow on from this. Because I've said already in an article that I posted, this could be leading to criminal prosecutions for national leaders, CEOs. Even Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum was cited. They're all on the fence now. They've all sent solicitors. Interestingly enough, with the exception of Bill Gates, maybe he thinks by not defending, it'll go away. This isn't going away, though, folks. This is going to ignite an international global firestorm. And if they are found guilty, then they will have to go to the court and they will have to be put on the witness stand, and they're going to have to give accounts for what they've done and what they've said. Don't underestimate the impact of this. This is huge. And although the mainstream media aren't covering it, the people are. When I attended the courthouse yesterday, when I arrived, there were already hundreds of people there, maybe 200, 300, 400 people. And I've already posted up some content to do with that. I interviewed many people in the crowd. And when they realized who I was, I got a rapturous applause because they want people to talk about what is going on, things that matter to them. And they were very appreciative of the fact that a UK journalist was there supporting them. Arno van Kessen, the top lawyer, the lead lawyer in this prosecution, was arrested just about 4 weeks ago at his home. He was raided. He was arrested. He was blindfolded. He was put in cuffs. And he is now being detained in a maximum security prison. They tried to stop the court case from going ahead, but they were able to get the court papers to the court, the evidence, almost close to 200 pieces of evidence. Much of that was being presented yesterday. This was a sort of a pre-run, a sort of an opening salvo in what is now likely to become a huge topic internationally. And I spoke to solicitors and lawyers there, people that I've met and I've become good friends with, who were giving me their legal perspective of what was going on. I paid tribute to Micah Terhorst, a good friend, a top lawyer, and she was there. She was sitting beside me in the courtroom. So what's actually happening here and what's unfolding cannot be underestimated. We could see people who thought they'd got away with it. The deception, the coercion, the intimidation, the fear, we could see them being put on trial. And these charges of bioterrorism and genocide, those were the terms that were given in the courthouse. Those were the words that were used. I'm not saying it, they said it. And what's really quite critically important is that people understand the magnitude of what is actually developing here. It cannot be underestimated. This is something that is so highly impactful that we must watch it closely. We must repost and share this content because it's the only way we're going to wake up everybody else that might still not be fully there to the dangers of what the globalists and their institutions have done to humanity. You know, I've said before, this is a war on humanity. And I'll say it again, it is a war on humanity, what it means even to be human. This is just one part of it. But the central bank digital currencies, the digital ID, the smart cities, where you'll be corralled and contained, it's all part of the plan. The globalists want you and I and every free-minded person in digital chains. And what they did with the vaccine rollout, and I even hesitate to call it a vaccine, it was an mRNA experimental gene therapy. Highly dangerous, highly controversial. And there was a batch, a very dangerous batch that they knew were warned. They got told about it, that people had been dying because of it. Yet they tried to cover it up. They didn't withdraw it. They kept pushing it out, giving that same narrative that we heard one of the solicitors talking about yesterday. Safe and effective. It wasn't safe and it wasn't effective. So stay tuned. I'm here for a while yet, and I'm going to be breaking it all down in a much more detailed post with the support of Scarlett Kerlova from the Netherlands, and we're going to be giving you a full blow-by-blow account of what actually took place. So don't go away, stay tuned. We'll be back very, very soon. Until next time, this is Jim Ferguson. We'll speak soon. Bye.